The next-gen cars hit the Charlotte Motor Speedway road course with the winless Dakota Long in position number 1. The playoffs alive and well, and drivers trying to nail their ticket to the mast. Dakota Long with a green flag, and we're racing at Charlotte, and already Nick Kaufman's gone around in the 14, and the 14 Christmas car. Last week's winner in trouble already, and it looks like the gods haven't selected him to move on early in this race. Dakota Long in the 2-3, off to a great start in the Wheaties Camry. '23 goes way too hard and loses it. Jordan Haynes hits him right in the nose. Jacob Prince coming up behind the two of them, and Long just trying way too hard on tires that are way too cold. Last week's winner, Nick Kaufman, he gets selected into the top 4 by way of passing Dakota Long, and we'll see if he decides to stay up there or if he'll throw away the chance as he gets right back into the 9 of Jacob Prince, who's in 2nd. Perrin Huggins in 3rd. Jordan Haynes running away with this lead. Leading lap number 1, Jordan Haynes. Let's go back to the green flag and see what happened to Kaufman in the 14. Did he back it up too hard? Have a look. He just goes way too hard at the start of this race. And he spins the tires. Kaufman rolls a little too hard. And there is Dakota Long in the 2-3 just running away with that one. But it's Jordan Haynes leading by 1.5 seconds over Perrin Huggins. Jake Prince in that number 9 Napa Chevrolet just ahead of Kaufman in that 14. Dakota Long behind him in the 2-3 Wheaties Camry. Lindemann's gone around at the back. There is the 2.8 Natty Light Chevrolet, and Lindo goes for a little bit of a spill. Let's see what happened to him on lap number 2. Michael Bennett also went around. It looks like Ryan Von Henschel might have gotten caught up in something. What happened here? This is also on lap number 1. How about Lucas Reed losing control of the race car early on? James Staples in that gorgeous 2.4 Chevrolet. What in the world just happened? What did Lucas Reed just do? Watch this. 3 car just loses it and comes in way too hot into the bus stop, but just have another look. That's just absolutely ridiculous, but okay, that happened. And Nick Kaufman also got into some more trouble here. This is on the 2nd lap of competition, and that's the 9 of Jake Prince ahead. Kaufman tries to get right into the 9. The 9's going to turn down, but give enough room to the 14. Kaufman messes himself up, and he gets into Jake Prince in the 9. And Nick Kaufman, who's still running in that coveted 4th spot, almost seeming undeserved with a move like that, and you wonder how did he get into the top 4, and you hope he doesn't throw away that chance. But let's have another look at Kaufman in the 14 from a different angle, and you're going to see him just almost, he's out of control headed into the chicane, and he stays true to that inside line there, but he just races that way too wide. And another look from the sky on car 14 here. Kaufman just sends it in way too deep. He comes all the way across the racetrack. Kaufman does not maintain that line, and he gets into Jake Prince in the 9. Kaufman mercifully still being scored in that 4th position. Perrin Huggins ahead in that number 8, and Dakota Long, who is 5 seconds behind Jordan Haynes. As Haynes decides to scrape the wall, despite his aggressive style, Haynes has not made a mistake yet. Kaufman is going to get into third. What happened to Jacob Prince? Did he just lose the spot? Or was it Huggins? There's Perrin Huggins losing the third position. And Racing Rick is in the chat. What's going on, Ricky? Glad to have you here, buddy. The number 9 of Jacob Prince in that coveted 4th position. And the Chrome Tide Ride. Students of racing will recognize this as the Darrell Waltrip machine, and it is, but just in a very fun chrome fashion. And Darrell loves his chrome. So shout out to all fans that know. Let's have a look at Ryan Pasoko in that 2 car. It looks like he just goes incredibly slow, and I'm not sure what his particular game is, but Pasoko in that 2 definitely taking an interesting line. Having a look at Sean Anderson in the 13. He's gone around in the driven Chevrolet. And the double 3 behind him now, Brandon Meyer in that Procore Ford, trying to get around that 13 with Matt Seeger, who has not put a foot wrong. The double 8 Lowe's Chevy. Seeger just trying to get around here. There's Perrin Huggins in the 8. Sitting in the 8th position, Cody Johnson, the defending champion, up ahead in the 08 car. Shoop in the 91. Going through the bus stop and now being chased down by that 08. Let's go on board with the 91 of Shoop. And Shoop overcooks it. Let's have a look at the Virginian. Way too hard under that first curb. He's upset the car by the second curb. He rides the rumble strip way too hard, and he spins that Bobcat Chevrolet, and Justin Shoop now wishing he'd gone a little bit easier on the race car in the pride of Bealton, Virginia. Now has a mirror full of Dakota Dahl in that 10 car, on board now with the 10. And a lap around Charlotte with the 1-0. If you've just tuned in, you've missed a lot. Plenty of cars have gone off already. This driver here, Jordan Haynes, kind of plateauing at about 6.5 seconds lead in that number 1 car. Dakota Long back up to the 2nd position. He went around on lap number 1, but he's sitting in the silver medal slot. Last week's winner, Nick Kaufman, in the 14. Sitting in 3rd Despite having an aggressive style on Jacob Prince, who's behind him in the 4th position, Jordan Haynes just went purple. 1:20.74, fastest lap so far. Competition caution coming at the end of lap 18. So in these first 8 laps, Jordan Haynes proving by measurable doubt that he certainly belongs at the top. And he needs to go places here. Taking a look at these ENEA points, you've got Jordan Haynes leading the regular season points into this round here. Three wins this season. Perrin Huggins with the 6 wins this season. And it's less about the position and more about just being on top of that red line by the time it all shakes out. 12 drivers coming into this round, and 8 will go into the semi-final round. We started this round last week at Phoenix with Nick Kaufman getting the win, and he's guaranteed himself into the next round. This race here, the winner of this race is going to lock himself into that semi-final round, and after tonight, next week at the Talladega Superspeedway. You want to see, you think you've seen mayhem in this race. You ain't seen nothing yet. Just you wait until they go next week at Talladega. That's going to be unbelievable. And the 91 of Justin Shoup. There's a crash back here in the, is it Staples in the 2-4? There's a crash in the bus stop. Well, this is Staples just avoiding the chicane and keeping that 2-4 clean. And as a lifelong, what in the world is James Staples doing? Well, I think because he missed the chicane, he has to, the iRacing is going to tell him he has to slow down for a certain amount of time, which Staples is doing. I just don't know why he would go right through the bus stop. But let's see what happened to Ryan Pasocco here. Way too hot. He's coming at a stupid rate of speed. Look how wide he is going into the corner. Yeah, just way too much wheel coming out of the corner, and he says hello to the wall. Let's see what happened to Brandon Meyer in the 33. This is coming into the bus stop, as they call it, on the back straight. Up against the wall, and he's going to give it way too much wheel going into the corner. Matt Seeger almost getting involved in something there. Let's see what happened to James Staples this time in the 2-4. Gets on the curb. Goes wide into the corner. You can already tell he's giving it way too much wheel in the 2-4. Goes for a big spin right ahead of Matt Seeger, who avoids that, in the 13 of Sean Anderson. And they're still working on each other. So Jordan Haynes dominating this race at the front still. Dakota Long in that 2nd position. Nicky Kaufman sitting in 3rd, Jake Prince in 4th, and Connor Cordes rolling in the 5th position. Cody Johnson chasing down Cordes. Dahl in the 10, running in the top 10 so far. Justin Shoup behind him, and then Matt Seeger rounding out those top 10 positions with Sean Anderson slowly chasing him down. Over the last 5 laps, Sean Anderson decidedly quicker than Matt Seeger there on lap number 9. Shoup in the 91. Chasing down Dakota Dahl. Let's see what happened to Lucas Reed earlier. Oh, this is Reed just losing the race car here right in front of the start-finish line. And this is earlier. Lucas Reed also just fell off the racetrack here. Coming in way too hot. Why are these drivers coming in with so much speed into that corner? And you can see it's cost him dearly. Matt Seeger, just as I say, he hasn't put a foot wrong. Looks like Seeger goes right through the bus stop. What happened to the double 8? Yup, he knew he was going to miss it, and he goes right through the bus stop there, comes to a halt, and then keeps it moving. So the Lowe's Chevrolet sitting in 12th. He's trying to get back into that top 10. Shoop in the 91 hunting down Dakota Dahl. Here's the gap over the last 5. Matt Croakey already decided to call it a day. Derek Sherman decided to call it a day. Lucas Reed is in the pits. We'll see if he decides to fight on. The 2-4 of James Staples still in a fighting spirit in that 17th position. And there is Jordan Haynes still leading this race. You can see he gives it a wiggle. Dominating, you might even say. 9.13 seconds, almost 9.5 seconds it might as well be at this point. Matt Bennett looks like he fell off the racetrack. Let's see what happened to the 1-9. He's in 14th. Yeah. Well off the racetrack. Bennett 5 seconds behind Ryan Von Henschel. Ryan Pasoko 30 seconds behind him. And beyond that, did Pasoko just go off the racetrack? He sure did. He slammed the crap out of that wall. Take another look. He just flies off the racetrack here. These guys are losing so much focus. They're losing so much focus already. And I think Pasoko just went off the track again. Hold on. Yeah, this is the same lap. Ryan just going way too hot, and he's destroyed that race car. He jumped to the pits immediately. So Pasoko's going to try and get that race car repaired. He does have the one fast repair. All drivers do. So we'll see who uses that here. 12 laps complete. Jordan Haynes has, as near as makes no difference, a 10-second lead to Dakota Long, who's just entering the chicane now. 11 seconds beyond Long, Nikki Kaufman. But we've got action to speak of. 8th, 9th, 10th. Dakota Dahl leading this mad attack. Here comes the 91 of Justin Shoop. And the Virginian overcooks it again. Justin Shoop carrying way too much speed into the bus stop, and it cost him. He's just backing it down way too hard, and he ends up getting himself beached on those curbs. Watch, he doesn't have the speed to get around there. There you go. And the car just getting beached up there, and that could have been dangerous. One more look at Shoop, just going way too hard. And Shoop presses on. He sits in the 11th position. Brandon Meyer 1 second ahead. Dakota Dahl now defending against Sean Anderson. "14 laps underway. They're going to keep on going at it. Anderson only 3/10 behind. Jacob Prince, on the other hand, has Connor Cordes right up behind him. Over the last 5 laps, Prince just not quick enough to keep up with Kaufman or with Cordes. And Cody Johnson quickly approaching in the distance. So now Jacob Prince playing defense. Bad news for 91 fans. Justin Shoop has gone around again. There is the Virginian in 11th. Let's see what happened to him. Look at this battle right here. Brandon Meyer in the double 3. Matt Seeger in the 88. Von Henschel in that 45. 33 taking no chances. He says, I'm just staying on the apron. Here they come into the bus stop chicane. It's Shoop, Seeger, 45. Fifth cheering for the 88 car. There goes the 33 and the 19 trailing. Shoop leads the brigade with the 88 following behind him. 40 laps to go next time by. Remember, we've got that, that caution coming at the end of, lap 18? I can't remember these things. Maybe I should start writing these things down, and I might remember more. You know, that sounds like probably a good strategy here. Let's turn on the NFL game. We got Seahawks and Cowboys tonight. We'll see who's leading in that one. 91 gets just ahead of that 88, 45 following. Ryan Von Henschel comes into this race not even on the chart for points here, so just all pride for Von Henschel tonight. The double 48 behind the 88. Not having a bad race. He's in 12th, right? What can you say? You can't make fun of a guy for trying. You absolutely can't. Shout out to guys again like James Staples, running in 16th right now. Pretty long shot to win this race, but, he's here for the love of it. We're here for the love of racing as well, and, again, I'll find any excuse to put a Jeff Gordon car on the screen here. So shout out to him, shout out to that paint scheme. It's going to be awesome. Justin Shoop, however, shouting out the safer barrier. He's gone. Is it the bus stop again? Oh, Shoop, how many times are you going to go around in the bus stop, my friend? There goes race leader Jordan Haynes. Let's see what happened to him. This is on lap 12, mind you. This is coming into the bus stop, lap 12, 3 laps ago. Goes in way too hard. And now let's see on lap 15. My God. He just flew across the racetrack. And then, of course, he's got to slow down for the rest of the traffic. I was saying this to these guys in practice. The mistakes you make at a road course, you're going to lose so much more time sliding off the racetrack and trying to recover than you would just by going slow. And with this caution coming up on lap 19, you really hope some guys will take advantage here. Jordan Haynes comes into the pits right before the end of the stage, so that's going to make Dakota Long your new leader in the Wheaties Camry. Nick Kaufman, there he is in the second position, 14 seconds behind Dakota Long, the best of the rest, if you will. Long still seeking that first win this season, and he's got a chance, but he's going to need that one car to kind of just roll over and get out of the way. But anything is possible. That's why we love racing. And, Dakota Long's going to ollie over the rumble strips going into the bus stop. The hell was he thinking? Here comes, who's that behind him? I can't even tell. Is that Von Henschel in the 45? No, that's Ryan Lindemann in the Natty Light 28. We were worshiping and praising this car last week because it just looks so cool, and it does. Shout out to Lindemann. He's running in 15th right now, a couple laps off the pace, but he's doing his thing. You can't hate him. Jordan Haynes on the racetrack with fresh tires, and he did not repair that race car, you can see by the damage on the right front, so he still has a fast repair in his back pocket in case anything happens to that one car. Perrin Huggins coming out of the bus stop chicane, and we'll have a caution this time by when the leader crosses the line. Sean Anderson just went green, 122.56. Look for him after the break. We're going to see what happens. Dakota Long still leading, 11 seconds ahead of Kaufman. Connor Cordes behind Jacob Prince, however. Prince playing defense again to the 5. Wait, are the Seahawks and the Cowboys playing, or is Amazon Prime messed up? I thought they already... Didn't they already play? Or am I going crazy?
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
There is the stage caution. We're going to figure this out here in a minute. But Dakota Long ends up winning the stage there. He finishes in first here. So we're going to go to break. Drivers are going to come down pit road. They're going to get sorted out, and we're going to get ready for the last 30-some laps of this race. It's going to be unbelievable. We're going to keep having fun. We're going to talk about the NFL, and maybe we'll figure out why my Amazon Prime says Seahawks and Cowboys are playing. Are they actually playing? Nope, you know what? Because I opened up my Prime Video, and the Seahawks and Cowboys were playing last Thursday. Because it's Monday. It's not Thursday. I need to open up ESPN, not Prime Video. That's why the Seahawks and Cowboys are playing. Thank you, by the way, Warren and Ricky, letting me know what's going on. Who the hell is playing tonight? I have no clue. Bengals and Jaguars. There we go. All right. I got the Bengals and Jaguars up. It's tied at 7 with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. So come back and maybe I'll finally know what we're doing here. Dakota Long is your race leader. Fans, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Back at the Charlotte Motor Speedway watching the number 9 of Jacob Prince currently going around the racetrack. Let's see if we can have a word with the pilot of the 9 real quick. Jake Prince, Rick James up top. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Coming down into pit road. Don't let me distract you, buddy. Hit your marks here. But it's been an interesting race, to say the least. Right now you're sitting behind Nick Kaufman, and those last few laps, you had Connor Cordes really up your backside trying to see where the light comes out the other end, man. He's trying to get around you real hard.
Yeah, I burnt my stuff up pretty bad there. I knew the stage was coming, so I went ahead and pushed there early, and I just couldn't get through the infield, but I feel like I have him through the 2 chicanes, so we kind of evened out there. But it's been fun so far. You know, I think if we can stay mistake-free like we did right there, we should have a pretty good finish in points night, and that's the main goal with Talladega next week. So we'll just have to see what happens.
Well, and there's the key. We see a lot of guys making mistakes here. I think we've seen Justin Shoop take a spin in the bus stop at least 3 times. I think we saw Lucas Reed spin coming out of the chicane 1 time. What is the toughest part of this racetrack?
Oh man, what's not tough about this racetrack? You know, it's pretty treacherous out here. I'd say for me, is getting into that last chicane. Between getting into that chicane and then this infield section that we're at right now, it's really tough to get the car pointed through here to get the run that you need, because if you miss it just a little bit, the cars behind you, if they hit it, they're just going to eat you up. So I'd say probably that last chicane in the braking is probably the most treacherous, because I mean, every lap I'm just wheeling it through there trying not to spin out. But I mean, I don't have anything for Haynes or Dakota or nothing like that, but if I can come in here and get a top 5 and get out of here with a good stage like I did, then I'll be happy.
Well, and that's really what everybody's looking for here, is just that top 5 move, you know, that top 5 run. Jordan Haynes has been dominant, to say the least here, but as we go green, do you have a strategy to at least just stay in the top 5? Oh, no, we still got one more to go next time by, never mind. Do we at least have a strategy to stay in the top 5? Is it's going to be a longer stint. We're talking 30 laps here, so you got to have tire conservation on your mind unless you plan on coming down into the pits.
Yeah, we really, from my calculations, I can't speak for everybody else, but I had 25 laps of fuel, so I'll probably be looking to split it in half, which, I mean, I'll be able to push a little bit, but my main thing I feel like is just on this restart is if something happens, trying to stay out of it, because, you know, when you got to get everything you can on these restarts, because once it's spread out, it's pretty tough, so everybody's going to be pushing, and there is a good possibility we might see some single car spins here, so just be on the lookout for that. Obviously, we have a fast repair tonight, but don't want to have to use it, so, you know, we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get going clean here. I got put back a little bit due to some strategy, but I feel pretty good about it.
All right, I won't spoil the score for you, but who you got tonight, Jaguars or Bengals?
Oh, Jaguars. I think the
Jaguars.
Bengals they're not going to be able to hang the rest of the year with that quarterback, but I hope Jamar Chase gets some catches because I got him on my fantasy team.
Hopefully for your fantasy points, and then you got a fan out there too. When you get back to Justin Shoop in the chat, you tell him that his old man is cheering you on.
I'll let him know that. He's going to really love that.
You let Justin Shoop know. We got Ricky cheering for both Shoop and you in here, buddy, so best of luck.
All right, appreciate it.
And the pilot of the number 9 Napa Chevrolet in that star-spangled helmet with the Coca-Cola race suit on. In that 6th position, Perrin Huggins just behind him. 5:40 something to go in the second quarter, and the Bengals are down 7-14. The Jaguars at home, are they? 1st and 10 now here for the Bengals. The 5-6 Bengals coming to visit the 8-3 Jaguars. And it looks like they just got a first down, and they're still moving down the field here, so they could be putting up some points before the end of this half, certainly. Dakota Long in the race lead, or being scored as the race leader. There's Jordan Haynes, who's in 2nd. And I don't know if Dakota Long just came back down pit road or what. So he definitely got out of sequence here, and it looks like he put the brakes on just to maybe let the field catch up with him. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. There's Jordan Haynes in the 1 just following suit. Matter of fact, let's bother Jordan Haynes real quick. Jordan Haynes, Rick James up top. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Sitting in that first spot. Well, you will be here when we catch back up to Dakota Long. And that first stint, mostly mistake-free. We saw you hit the wall a couple of times, but you didn't make any major mistakes. Guys spinning out in the bus stop. You didn't fall off the racetrack. You didn't hit the grass, tear the car up. You've kept it mostly in one piece, and it looks like you did fix up that damage that you picked up earlier in the race. Is it going to be more of the same in this next stint? What's the toughest part of the racetrack for you?
Toughest part for me is just staying focused. I mean, you got to be so focused getting around here, you know, so that's pretty much going to be the toughest thing. I mean, you really just want to go as slow as you can without, you know, missing the line. You know, that's kind of what I was trying to do, and then I started to push a little bit. And then I actually hit the fence when I wasn't pushing, so I don't know, maybe I'll just push and see what happens. Probably want to hit the fence again. But yeah, it should be fun here. Got Dakota up here, so battle it out.
All right, man. Best of luck, and hopefully we talk to you at the end of the race.
Yes, sir.
Haynes has control of the field coming through the chicane. He will lead the field for 33 more laps of fun as the green flag comes out, and we're racing again at Charlotte. Connor Cordes has already gone around. There goes the 5, exactly like Nick Kaufman did at the start of this race. That gorgeous chrome tide ride spins. Identical to Nick Kaufman. I mean identical to Nick Kaufman. Have a look at the 14 car on the green flag. This is the start of this race, lap number 1. Not even lap 1. I don't know if... there he goes. Yeah, there he is on lap number 1. Just spins the car. And Jordan Haynes already in front. 16 cars still remain in this race. James Staples being one of them in that fantastic 24 car. Just behind Justin Shoup, but that's not for position. The Pride of Bealton, Virginia, running in the 10th position. Mike Bennett gets around Matt Seeger coming into the front stretch. What do you call this? The chicane here? It's got to be the chicane, isn't it? Seeger all over the back end of Bennett. Ryan Von Henschel getting around the 24 of James Staples, who decides to pull it wide, but he still kept his race car in one piece. Jordan Haynes already out to a 1.7 second lead. Dakota Long sits ahead of Nick Kaufman by 1 second. The best of the rest, if you will. Here comes defending champion Cody Johnson chasing down the 1.4 on board with the 0.8 of Johnson. From Greenwood, South Carolina, pilot of the number 9, Jacob Prince, being cheered on by Ricky and others in the chat. If you've just tuned in, you have not missed too much since the green flag flew. Jordan Haynes just went purple, 1:19.63, and the only driver out of the 20 in this race to go under a minute 20 seconds here. Just sensational stuff. It will be 30 laps to go this time by, and it's Dakota Long who's trying to hold off now the 14 of Nick Kaufman. From one Dakota to another, and this one recently had a spin. Let's see what happened to Dakota Dahl in the 10. How much you want to bet he goes too hot into the chicane? Nope, I would have lost that bet. He's going to put too much wheel. What in the hell is he doing? I don't know if he's just maybe had to give up time for... Oh, you know what? What if Dakota Dahl didn't stop on the backstretch chicane? Or maybe he did, I don't know. Ryan Lindemann's gone around. We'll see what happened. My God. Yeah, flying through the chicane, and he's going to come to a halt. I don't know if he's trying to just save more time by not going through the bus stop at all. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it works out for him. Let's see what happened to Lindemann in the 2.8. Our favorite Natty Light machine. Oh, he goes way too high, wide, and handsome, and he's had one too many Natty Lights. And the 2.8 goes around. Racing Ricky says, if Jacob could hit his marks, I think he's going to have a podium. Talking about the 5th place car, Jake Prince. Perrin Huggins creeping up behind him. coming into this race, Kaufman in the 14. Guaranteed to make it to the next round. He won last week at the Phoenix Raceway, and a pretty fantastic win it was. You got to give it to him. So Kaufman just trying to do more of the same, just trying to possibly just get some good practice for these next rounds. How about Prince trying to hold off Perrin Huggins, though? And it's going to be a fun battle, definitely. But we'll see just what happens over these next few laps. Let's go on board with the 9. He's playing defense on Perrin Huggins. Ricky saying Jake's got the better line out on the racetrack, and he's still just ahead of Perrin Huggins. Meanwhile, Dakota Long not that far ahead of Nick Kaufman, and defending champion Cody Johnson staying behind. Could he be saving fuel, however? These drivers don't have enough to go the distance, and I'll tell you by that line alone, the 8 is definitely not saving fuel running lines like that, so the defending champion with a little bit of work to do. Further on back, Justin Shoup chasing down Connor Cordes over the last 5 laps. This has been their gap. That last time, Shoup decidedly slower than Connor Cordes. And the number 91 Bobcat machine continues to move on, while the double 3 of Brandon Meyer will drift it out of the corner in the Procore Ford. Loses the battle that he had on Justin Shoup. Mike Bennett, on the other hand, he's playing a heavy round of defense to car number 5. Oh, Cordes just makes a little bit of contact with the back of the 19, maybe, but Bennett with a great line through the bus stop. How about that for a battle for the 9th position? Connor Cordes wrestling that away from Michael Bennett. He does a great job. These two going to go up for a battle now. Perrin Huggins trying to hold off Sean Anderson, and Jacob Prince trying to hold off Perrin Huggins. "25 laps to go this time by." Jordan Haynes with and just ridiculous, unbelievable 6-second lead on Dakota Long right now. Long sits 1.8 seconds ahead of Nicky Kaufman. It looks like he's finally held off the Christmas Ford. And you can tell by that damage, he hoed his way into a wall with the right front corner of that Santa Claus Mustang. And he's going to get a fat piece of coal in his stocking come Christmas. Looking at the Bengals and the Jags, they're tied at 14 with a minute to go in the second quarter. I definitely haven't been watching, so don't you dare ask me what happened to these teams here. But I guess it's been a good game so far if they're tied at 2 touchdowns apiece. Where's Landon in here? Because Landon always bets that both teams are going to score a couple of touchdowns in the first half, and he's going to win some ridiculous amount of money here. So I hope he's watching the game, or at least he's hit his parlay somewhere. Prince 3/4 of a second ahead of Perrin Huggins, and drivers seem to have finally spread out. They've gotten some space amongst themselves. This is 18 seconds behind the leader, Jordan Haynes. Sean Anderson trying to catch up as well. And again, the aim is just to be above the red line by next week at the Talladega Super Speedway. Looking at that top 12, Mike Bennett trying to get to where Cody Johnson is right now, and the defending champion with a win in the last round. He is on that bubble, but he's running ahead of James Staples, ahead of Ryan Lindemann as well. Cody Johnson sitting in fourth, running ahead of most of those rivals, so he's going to be just fine. You look at guys that are right under that red line. Lucas Reed, he's out of this race in the 18th position. He's going to take a big tumble. Justin Shoup, he sits in 10th. He's one spot behind Lucas Reed, but Justin Shoup is running 11th in the points. You can tell he's going to go ahead of Lucas Reed. He might even get above that red line. You take a look at the driver in 11th, Sean Anderson. We're looking at him right now in the 13 car. Anderson sits in 7th, up 3 places from where he started, and if he keeps running, he's definitely going to make it close to that red line. And then Mike Bennett, stone dead last in these top 12 standings, but running 10th, running ahead of Justin Shoup. This race right here is the one where if you stay in it, you'll have a chance to advance. And next week at Talladega, it's a dice roll. Anything can happen, especially when it's win and you're in. Expect the bump drafting to be abusive and fast. Cody Johnson went green last time around, 1:21.16, but Nicky Kaufman just went green this time through. Over the last 5 laps, Cody Johnson just not able to get up to Kaufman in that 14 car. Kaufman chasing down Dakota Long. Kaufman within 1 second to that 2-3. Dakota Long trying to murder his transmission and trying to turn his Toyota Camry into a lowrider on 2 wheels. In any case, he's abusing those gears, and we'll see how far it takes him. If he's a little easier on the gears, I think he might find just a little more success going through that bus stop. But Nick, my God, he's got to stop attacking those curbs before he rolls that race car. And Nick Kaufman is right up behind him as well. Further on back, Sean Anderson. Just 0.6 of a second behind Perrin Huggins. Matt Seeger ahead of Connor Cordes, and these two have been getting closer over the last 5 laps. Look at that. Last time around, Cordes 2 seconds quicker than Matt Seeger. We'll see where they go this time. On board with the 88. Seeger in the 88 now behind Cordes in that 5. Dakota Long now with Kaufman half a second behind him. 21 laps to go next time by. And again, the drivers may not be able to make it to the end on fuel. I don't predict that they will. They're going to be, if it goes green all the way to the end, which we expect it to, they're going to end up being about 5 laps short. And by the end of this run, it's going to be whoever has the most tires is going to be able to hold on to it. So let's see who's got the best tires at the end of this race. At the rate that Dakota Long has been throwing that race car around the track, he's, well, we'll see if he keeps it on all 4 tires by the end of this race. Ricky let me know that the transmission's going to be fine. It's the engine that's going to be suffering. Have another listen to Dakota Long downshift into the bus stop. (9,200 RPMs) as he decides to tilt the right side of the race car towards the sky. Have another listen with the 2-3. As Nick Kaufman decides he's going to come into the pits here with 21 laps to go. So Kaufman guaranteeing that he's going to have enough gas to make it to the end, but will he have the tires? Ryan Lindemann just went another lap down to race leader Jordan Haynes. Here's what happened to the Natty Light Chevrolet. He just caught the rumble strip and went around at the wrong time. Luckily, he keeps it off the wall there. Cody Johnson decides he's going to come in, and he's out of the pits as well. Perrin Huggins also deciding he's going to come into the pits, while Dakota Long sits in second. He's still out on the racetrack. Jordan Haynes also out on the racetrack. 6.4 seconds ahead of Dakota Long. Sean Anderson now behind Jake Prince. Ricky says 9,200, not for long. Sean Anderson decides it's his turn to come into the pits. There's Nick Kaufman on fresh tires. Remember, he pitted on lap 34. He's good to go on fuel, but you can see that he did not use the fast repair, or maybe he has run out. So Kaufman on fresh tires and with enough fuel to go the distance, but will he still be fast on those tires 20 laps from now? And it looks like he might have only gone right sides, or he might have just gone fuel only. His pit stop time only 7.3 seconds. Jordan Haynes also went fuel only in the pits, 5.6 seconds. That's how we came back out with the lead. Dakota Long did get tires, but he's also got to come into the pits. Jake Prince up into the 3rd position as Jordan Haynes just violently sliding his race car around the track. And you saw him just with a very light hop over those curbs. Have another look here. Jordan Haynes just throwing the race car around here. But he hits those curbs with such control. Then you see Dakota Long hitting those curbs, and he just hits it so violently. There's Long. You can still see him bouncing from when he hit the curbs. Now keep your eye on the 1. Very smooth. Have a look at Long in the 2-3. Long, he's literally going airborne. He's trying to just hit an air over the chicane. Jordan Haynes again, smooth on the rumble strips. Here's Dakota Long. He is sailing over one rumble strip and completely missing another and having to dodge the wall out of the bus stop. Here's Haynes again. And that time, not as smooth here. He's going to tag the wall, and Dakota Long will now present his effort. Okay, that time Dakota Long, just as smooth as could possibly be. That's hilarious. But anyway, it's 18 laps to go. And Racing Ricky nails it right on the head. He says Haynes isn't pushing the car. He's not. And I was telling these guys in practice until I'm blue in the face. The time you're going to lose going off the racetrack is greater than the time you're going to make up pushing the car too hard. And Jordan Haynes has figured it out. Now, granted, he does push that car, but not beyond its limits. And that has to attribute to a 7.5 second lead. And again, just because it's amazing, and I just watch for the difference in lines here. Jordan Haynes through the bus stop. And now Dakota Long. Watch Jordan Haynes into the final chicane. And over that last chicane, quite smooth. And now Dakota Long in the Wheaties Camry. And that time, so Long is learning, because that's 2 laps in a row we've seen him be smooth through that last chicane. But that just tells you what you've got to focus on. And for this one here, Jordan Haynes really focusing on being smooth, not putting too much into that car, and he's making it work for him. Nick Kaufman chasing down Jacob Prince. This is that battle for third. Again, Kaufman went fuel only, or possibly 2 tires, as he overcooks it into the corner, and he ho-ho-hos the right front into the wall one more time, and that's 2 fat pieces of coal that Nick Kaufman's going to find in his stocking. The first time he picked up the damage, and that second time he just crashes like a glass Coke bottle up into the wall, and now Kaufman could be in serious trouble. Haynes 10 seconds ahead. Dakota Long comes into the pits. This is the pit stop for the 2-3. Jacob Prince sitting in third, while Kaufman, let's see if he just keeps the car off the wall this time. Misses one apex, barely misses another one, and he goes wide again, having to dodge that race car. Despite the damage, though, still on maximum attack. But you've got to question the tires. And if there was ever a time for Jacob Prince to come into the pits, it may be next lap. If Kaufman manages to get around Prince, Prince wants to put on fresh tires and chase down the 14, because by the time this race is over, 15.5 laps from now, if Prince comes into the pits, Kaufman's good on fuel. Prince is not. If Prince comes into the pits and bolts on fresh rubber, he could have Nick Kaufman by the end of the race. Matter of fact, we're going to watch Dakota Long just sail away if he's gentle. Remember, on lap number 1, Dakota Long went way too hard on cold tires, and he wrecked the race car. Here comes Prince behind that 2-3. Nick Kaufman also in tow. Leader is in. There's Jordan Haynes. He said he was going to split the last 30 laps, and he's done so. 15 to go when Haynes crosses the line. He comes in with a 10-second gap into the pits. Well, projected 10-second gap. Dakota Long did come into the pits, and it was quite a gap there. Look at Long. He's lost the front bumper by just racing way too hard. Long loses the front bumper, and Perrin Huggins, championship win leader, has crashed. Watch this. Huggins already lost it, and I think Perrin's just going to jump to the pits. And Perrin now has to rely on next week's race. And watch this. This is Dakota Long losing his front bumper. Just attacking those rumble strips way too hard, and it finally caught up with him. But Long in second, ahead of Jake Prince by 1 second. There's Nick Kaufman now trying to get around Jacob Prince, and he will do so. Kaufman on maximum attack, again driving very hard. We'll see if he can make it last over the next 15 laps. This would be the time for Jacob Prince to come into the pits. Jordan Haynes, almost unbelievably, still 12.5 seconds ahead after cycling through the pit stops. 14 to go this time. Kaufman into the third position. He's gotten around Jacob Prince, and he's chasing down Long. Kaufman has the juice. Prince is coming in. There's Jacob Prince coming into the pits for his final pit stop. He's going to put on some fresh tires. Defending champion Cody Johnson sits in the 4th position, 3 seconds behind Nick Kaufman, and over the last 5 laps. That time, Cody Johnson half a second quicker than Nick Kaufman, and at this point, it's got to be the tires. Kaufman also pitting on lap 34 like Cody Johnson, but Johnson, 6.8 seconds in the pits. Did he get those tires? Here are the points coming into this race. Again, Perrin Huggins sitting second in those standings, but he's running 11th right now. Any of those drivers that dropped out of this race that are championship eligible, man, they're missing out on a lot of points here because it's about survival. If you can finish the race, you'll get enough points to move on to the next round. You just need to survive. And then, of course, next week is the dice roll at Talladega, and that's going to be just mayhem. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that. Lucky number 13 laps to go become the Dirty Dozen, this time by Jordan Haynes, leading by a very comfortable 13 seconds over Dakota Long. And Haynes looking like he's going to cruise on to his 4th victory of the season, and he's going to punch his ticket into the semi-final round. And he won't have to worry about racing at Talladega next week. Nick Kaufman also punched his ticket into that round by winning last week at the Phoenix Raceway. And Kaufman trying to run down Dakota Long for all he's got. And over the last 5 laps, there's the gap. The last 2 laps, Kaufman slower than Long. Cody Johnson, he just went green, 1:20.29 over those last 5 laps. Cody Johnson just swallowing up Nick Kaufman, but will it last? Brandon Meyer went around on lap 40. Let's see what happened to the 33. Way too hot into the bus stop. Way too hot into the bus stop, and he manages to keep that thing off the wall mercifully. Matt Seeger also went around on lap 40. And it's all too much for Matt Seeger. He just spins the low Chevrolet out of turn number 1, gives a little bit of smoke and throws it up into the air. Cody Johnson still sitting in 4th, almost 3 seconds behind Nicky Kaufman, who's lost the gap back to Dakota Long, and the damage might have finally caught up to car 14. And the 23 still doing his thing without a front bumper. Ricky saying, I'm sure Justin will push Jacob, but will finish in a good spot. And right now, Justin Shoup, that pride of Bealton, Virginia, sitting in the 8th position. Looking at these playoff points, not a bad run for Justin Shoup, considering he sits 10th. He's below that red line right now, but the driver ahead of him, Lucas Reed, out of this race. Sean Anderson. Anderson currently running a couple spots ahead of Justin Shoup. You look at Mike Bennett, who is a minute and a half behind Justin Shoup. As long as Shoup doesn't wreck the race car, he sets himself up for success at Talladega. Brandon Meyer not setting himself up for success because he's just gone around again. Here's what happened to the double three. You can already see he's lost the car out of one corner, and he makes it official out of another. And he's going to cook the engine. Justin Shoup still in 8th. What happened to that football game? Are they back from halftime yet? Yeah, they're back. Look at that. It's Trevor Lawrence lining up under center. 14:54 to go in the third quarter. And the Jags backed up to their own 32-yard line. Lawrence is going to roll out, and he's going to throw for an incomplete pass. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 with just over 14 and a half minutes remaining in the second. Further on down, or further on up, I should say, Dakota Long still 2 seconds ahead of Nicholas Kaufman. Coming out of these final two corners, last time around, Long was much quicker than Kaufman. This time around, survey says Nicky Kaufman. Or I'm sorry, I have it backwards. Long was quicker than Haynes that last time around, but Kaufman is quicker than Long. This time, Kaufman is not quicker. No, Kaufman is quicker than Long by 0.2 of a second. Maybe if I could learn to read a couple numbers, I might actually know what I'm talking about here. So second place in jeopardy, Nick Kaufman chasing down Long. And then if we go back one position to Cody B. Johnson, looks like Johnson's lost the mojo because the last 4 laps, Cody Johnson has been slower than Nick Kaufman by a huge margin. So props to Kaufman, who's holding his own in the third position. Ricky's saying it turned out to be a damn good race. It did turn out to be a damn good race. Justin Shoup is in the pits. He's pushed the car as far as it can go. He's now getting tires and fuel, and he's going to go hard for the last 10 laps of this race. Hopefully he doesn't push himself into another spin, but he's going to be one of the faster cars out there. Nick Kaufman went green last time around. 1:20 on the board, his personal best. 2.5 seconds behind Dakota Long and chasing him down. Ricky says, I might need reading glasses. You know what's messed up is that I'm wearing glasses. I've got glasses on. It's just I'm trying to glance at the screen at the speed of light and not taking in any important information. If I would slow down for half a second, I might not have that problem. It has been a really good race, though. We're coming to 8 laps to go. Jordan Haynes is just doing more of what we saw in the first half of this race, which is straight-up domination. And this is going to be a dominant win like we haven't seen in a very, very long time, probably since the Chicago road course when we saw him do it there. But a sensational win for him if he can hold on for the next 8.5 laps. Meanwhile, Dakota Long, 3 seconds ahead of Nick Kaufman. And Kaufman just doesn't seem to be as consistent as you would expect him to be. But the 14 car just trying to hold on to that third position. And there goes Dakota Long right through the bus stop. Cordes in the 5, running in position number 5. 5 seconds ahead of Sean Anderson. And again, drivers at the end of their stints kind of just spreading out. We've got some drivers still coming into pit road. We've got some drivers still to make it down. Connor Cordes has not pitted since lap number 50. Expect him to come down sometime before the end of this race. He does not have the fuel to make it. And that sometime is going to be right now, actually. So here comes Connor Cordes for tires and fuel, what will be his final pit stop of the evening. And we'll see Jacob Prince 29 seconds behind him. Prince pitted on lap 41. Nick Kaufman and Cody Johnson pitting on lap 34. Sean Anderson pitting on lap 35. Dakota Long on lap 39, Haynes on lap number 40. And this guy's just made it look so easy all afternoon long. He takes a couple of hops on the rumble strips. Let's go on board with the one. Sean Anderson with a recent incident. Take a look at the 13. Coming in hot. Way too hot, and he lost control before he even turned the wheel in the other direction. But he's back on race course there. Shoop in the 91. Went green last time, 1:22.52, only 33 seconds behind Jacob Prince, who also went green, 9/10 of a second quicker than Justin Shoop, and he's only 4 seconds behind Connor Cordes. At this pace, you would expect Jacob Prince to actually catch up to Connor Cordes. There is the pilot of the 5 Tide Ride. Still 14-14 in the Bengals and Jags game. 12.5 minutes to go. James Staples in the best-looking car on the grid, kindly making way for the 5 of Connor Cordes. Did he put on the appropriate race suit too? No, he didn't, but that's okay. Nine out of 10, James. Put on the Jeff Gordon race suit next time to match the car, and full marks, 10 out of 10. But if there were points to be given for the best looking car on the racetrack, this would be the one. Because it's my game and I make it up. Jacob Prince, 121.42. Personal best last time around. Jordan Haynes again. Have a look through the bus stop. And that time decidedly more aggressive there. It's going to be 5 laps to go for the Alabama fan. Looking for win number 4 this season and looking to go green on this board next week. Looking to punch his ticket into the semifinal round of the playoffs next week at Talladega. That's going to be just chaos. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. 2.5 seconds behind Nicky Kaufman is Cody Johnson. And there you can see a bit inconsistent with his lap times. But the last lap, Cody Johnson a second quicker. This time through lap number 50. Cody Johnson 2 seconds quicker. Nicky Kaufman in the 14 car has the damage caught up to him. Here comes Johnson in the 08. 4 to go this time by Kaufman. Needs to play defense, and Johnson doesn't need to push the issue. He just needs to be there. He needs to remain there. Force an issue out of the 14 car. Here comes Cody Johnson, defending champion on full attack. Johnson can't get desperate. If he gets desperate, he's lost that mental battle. He needs to be smooth and remain behind Kaufman. He's caught him, but now he has to pass him. 3 to go next time by, and this is the battle for the bronze medal. Kaufman is already into the next round, no matter what happens. Johnson is not, And with next week being the dice roll at Talladega and Cody Johnson coming into this race just above that red cut line, he needs every point he can get. He's there, but will he push the issue? Three to go this time by. Nick Kaufman just ahead of Cody Johnson. 4/10 is the gap. Sean Anderson just went green. Connor Cordes just went green. 16 seconds between them. James Staples with 3 laps to go, running in 12th. The last car running on the racetrack just went green, 1:25.04. And at the start of this race, James Staples was running in 20th out of 20 cars or something outrageous like that. Maybe not that far back, but he was definitely outside the top 15. And James Staples is going to get himself a finishing position in the top 12 just by surviving and going on to finish this race. Dakota Long went green, 1:20.17. Long has a guaranteed second if he doesn't do moves like that. If he just keeps the race car off the wall, Long is guaranteed to finish second. He's 10 seconds behind Jordan Haynes. He's 12 seconds ahead of Nick Kaufman. There's Cody Johnson, just trying to get any advantage. There goes the defending champion for third. Kaufman throws the block. Shoop stays out of the way like a gentleman. Johnson won't force the issue, but now Kaufman has to throw a block. Kaufman overshot the corner. He's gone way too wide. Johnson's on the outside now. Kaufman's mistake, and the 08 takes advantage. Cody Johnson to third, coming to 2 laps to go. Does Kaufman get desperate? And he locks up the tires. Johnson really running a tight line through the chicane. There goes Kaufman into the wall. He's really trying hard now. Nick Kaufman makes more contact with that wall. And now Kaufman watching the top 3 sail away. And being in that number 4 position, definitely going to be a consolation prize for that 14, definitely. He had third locked up, but it almost feels like just that one bitter loss now. And the 14, after winning last week at Phoenix, trying to go 2 in a row. Nick Kaufman in the 14 so far has been left in lonely position number 4. Cody Johnson up to third. He really attacks the rumble strips, and Cody Johnson can throw away the bronze medal a lot easier than he just earned it. White flag is out for Jordan Haynes. It's been a dominant performance for him. 13 seconds ahead of third place is Dakota Long right here. Cody Johnson must be smooth. Again, he can throw this race away with a lot less effort than he just got into third. The defending champion just has to be smooth and stay on his marks like this guy here, Jordan Haynes. What can we say about him? Completed the third stage with a 6-7 second gap. He's got a 10-second gap here, looking for win number 4. Nick Kaufman trailing by 1 second to the defending champion, Cody Johnson. Kaufman really sends it in. He's got a 19-second gap back to Sean Anderson. Cody Johnson in the 08 doing a sensational job so far, but he's got to bring it home in one piece. Jordan Haynes in the number 1 car. A dominant performance for this man here. He will punch his ticket into the semi-final round of the playoffs. Haynes wins it at Charlotte. Cody Johnson survives the bus stop, and he's got to survive one more move coming from car 14. The gap is great, but he can still overdrive it. One corner successful, two corners successful, and Cody Johnson holds on for the third place finish. Dakota Long in second, and then this driver here, Jordan Haynes, with an unbelievable win. Just sensational. .75 seconds back to Dakota Long. Just an impressive margin of victory for Jordan Haynes. Fans, we're going to have Jordan Haynes, Dakota Long, and Cody Johnson on the podium in just a moment here, but a well-deserved victory lap for this driver. And really, I mean, he earned it. What more can you say about this guy? He waxed the entire field. And he came home to a very well-deserved victory. Waiting for him to burn the house down like none other. There's the celebration we all wanted to see. Jordan Haynes burning that house down. He's going to join us on the top step of the podium when you hope you will as well, fans. Don't go anywhere. We'll have podium interviews in just a moment. On the podium now with our top three, starting with the driver of the 08 Flow Racing Chevrolet, defending champion Cody Johnson. And champ, awesome drive for that third and final position there. He snatched the bronze medal at the very end, and you got some good points headed into next week's race at Talladega.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to finish it there. I think a few guys had a few mistakes and stuff, but I wasn't going to race. I decided last minute to hop in there and run a few practice laps. And I like road courses; they're fun. I'm not good at them really, but they're fun, so I enjoy them. I hopped in there and did all right, so that was nice. Now we go to Talladega and enjoy the show there. But congrats to Haynes on the win there and Dakota for second.
Unofficially, you find yourself 20 points above the cut line headed next week into Dega. Congratulations on third.
Appreciate it, man.
Silver medalist tonight, once again, Dakota Long in the number 2-3 Wheaties Camry. Dakota, you find yourself in the fifth position. By my math, what is it? Well, 21 points above that cut line here. Headed into Talladega. Still not locked in, man. But what's it going to take for you to get a win?
I don't know, man. Just keep trying. You got a lot of fast guys in here every week in and week out. Just we're here at the right time when we need to peak. I mean, I don't think I finished outside top three the last 6 races or so. So we're peaking at the right time. It's just a matter of time. But good win, Haynes. That man's fast. I don't know where he gets that kind of speed, but you can't knock him for it. So congrats to him.
Let's talk to our race winner, as we'll see Dakota Long race next week at the Talladega Super Speedway. Jordan Haynes, 4 wins this season. Next week now, you could crash on lap 1 and it doesn't even matter. You're through to the semi-final round, man. Congratulations on the win.
Hey man, appreciate it. I'm a little hoarse, so might sound a little bad, but yeah, it was decent. I mean, I don't know what it is about the road courses for me this year. Just been kind of going, pretty decent, pretty good for me. Obviously, got 2 wins on the courses, but yeah, I mean, it was just pretty much a typical road course race. Just go out there and try not to wreck, even though I did hit the fence and had to get that damage fixed. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, once you got the lead and you're just able to set your own pace. I mean, it was all about just being as consistent as possible and whatnot. But outside of that, appreciate the guys for solid race. Even the slower traffic for moving out of the way and giving the faster drivers, the proper lane and everything. At least from what I saw, everything seemed like a pretty good night. So.
We'll see you next week at Talladega for an awesome, super fun race. And then in 2 weeks, we actually got to go back to work at Texas. But for you, it's going to be a relaxed week next week, man. Congratulations on the win.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide.
Fans at home, that's going to do it tonight for the awesome road course racing that we saw. Don't forget that the Gen 4 cars hit their semi-final race next week as well at the Talladega Super Speedway. So this Thursday night and next Monday night, we're going to have Gen 4 and we're going to have the next gen at the Talladega Super Speedway. That's going to be awesome. I cannot wait for that. And until that next race, everybody, please stay safe. Do take care of each other, and we will see you all